The official adventures of the Great Master.
Yo, 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 If you asked anyone who loves music to describe what old school hip hop sounds like, they'd likely mention scratching. The sound of someone scratching is unmistakable and is one of those things that's a treat to hear in a song or even cooler to see live. In fact, it's become so revered that sometimes DJs and producers are brought in just to provide scratches for a song. Scratching is associated with old school hip hop, but many producers from the past and present still use the technique within their music. DJing is an art form in itself, and the skill it takes to master scratching is part of that art form. Scratching is an essential part of hip-hop history, and we're gonna take a look at some key aspects of it, the birth of something new. While the average music-loving 20-something-year-old sees vinyl as a cool way to collect music, we all know it used to be the only way to listen to it. DJs at events throughout the 70s were spinning records to keep the party going, specifically disco parties. However, if you know anything about the origins of hip-hop, you know that breakdancing, or breaking, and rapping over those disco and funk music drum breaks was a major part of it. Check out this clip of Grandmaster Flash talking about it on the Netflix series Hip Hop Evolution.
Most DJs, they concentrated their efforts on the tone arm. It would be totally sloppy off beat, and I've seen a lot of that. I knew there has to be a better way. And after trying many different things, I placed my fingers on the vinyl. I let it go, stopped it. Let it go, stop it. I said to myself, I have absolute control of the record. But the taboo thing was you're not supposed to touch the middle of the vinyl. DJs are gonna hate you. People are gonna hate you. You're gonna ruin these records. I decided that this was the only way to do this. And then what I did was, so that I could find the break quicker, I took a crayon and I would make a circular mark where the break lived. So the circular mark is where the break lived. And the other mark is the intro to the break. So what I would do is count how many times it passed the tone arm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I figured out a way to do this with never touching the tone arm. Now we know where we are. We're not guessing anymore. We're not guessing anymore. Phase. Phase. Phase.
DJ Kool Herc is called the father of hip-hop and is credited with starting the concept of break mixing. While hip-hop purists who were at those parties throughout the 70s can give you multiple DJs who did the same techniques before him, for the sake of this video, we're highlighting DJ Kool Herc and his merry-go-round technique.
One night, I'm waiting for the record to play out. I said, I wonder if I put that to myself. I said, if they're waiting for this particular break and I have a couple more records that's got the same breakup in it, I wonder how would it be if I put them all together. And I told them, I said, I'm going to try something new tonight. I'm going to call it a merry-go-round.
Herc's merry-go-round meant that instead of playing whole records, he would play just the instrumental breaks, mixing between them to create a continuous dance rhythm.
I started out with James Brown, clap your hand, stomp your feet. That part right there, when the break, boom, I had to come in with bongo rock. bongo rock was still no vocals in it. And I would go into Baby Huey, the Mexican. And it was like, whoa, I think we got some hit, because people was like, oh, whoa. Everybody was like, yeah, I'm feeling this. Oh, yeah.
DJ Grand Wizard Theodore is credited with inventing scratching. Like many things that catch on and become a phenomenon, it was actually birthed from an accident. Let's listen to him tell the story himself.
Do you credit yourself as inventing the scratch?
Yes.
So you finish the story. Junior high school.
Oh, I was playing music. I was playing a record, and back then, our mixers crossfaders didn't go from left to right. Our crossfaders went up and down. So when moms came and busted in the room, both my crossfaders went up because she kind of startled me because I had one record going off and one record I needed to blend in. So when she startled me, both crossfaders went up in the air, which means that I could hear both records at the same time. So what I did was I did a baby scratch, pulled the music down a little bit. She left the room, played the next record, finished my cassette tape, and when I rewinded back to the part where my mother came in the room, I can hear myself baby scratching. I was like, wow, I can incorporate that into all the other things that I do as a DJ. So I practiced it another couple of days, another couple of hours, different records, and that's when it became the scratch. I was 12 years old in 1975.
Grandmaster Flash is the same pantheon, as he found new techniques to use in break mixing too. Scratching would go hand in hand with it. Some of the first names for scratching techniques would be called scratch phase and melodic scratch. Grandmaster Flash would begin to incorporate both into all of his break mixes, and his techniques would birth what would become the art of turntableism. Naturally, in the early days, he was proud to teach his techniques to the world.
Right there, that's what we call scratch phase. Actually being on the beat itself and manipulating my wrists back and forth as I continue. The next phase that I'm about to do is called, I entitle it the melodic scratch. Scratching it at a certain speed and rhythm all at the same time.
You've likely come across accounts like @BlackMass on social media, who take vocals from one song and mix them with production from another. Such a technique is much easier with computer software. But once again, Grandmaster Flash laid the groundwork for what would become commonplace for DJs at the time, all the way until today.
The next thing that I am about to do is called the Grandmaster Flash crossover. It's actually taking two different records and cutting them on time, all the time. Check this out.
Soon, break mixing and scratching would become integral to those party scenes throughout New York and the world, laying the groundwork in the 1980s. In the 80s and 90s, scratching was practically essential in hip-hop, specifically for the regional sound of New York hip-hop, while West Coast legends like Dr. Dre were using synthesizers to create smooth melodies. New York producers were scratching their sampled records. With Grandmaster Flash still being at the forefront of the explosion of hip-hop onto the charts and into the mainstream eye, he continued to showcase his skills on tracks. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 released The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel in 1981, which was a 7-minute-long showcase of his turntable skills. The track was a display of multiple techniques, such as scratching, crossfading, and more. Several instantly recognizable classic songs were sampled in the mix, which was a concept he originally thought the label and fans would reject. Turns out they loved it, and the rest is history. For many people, this track is essential to understanding the art of turntableism. Scratching continues to expand beyond the realm of traditional hip-hop. Herbie Hancock was another legendary figure that incorporated scratching in his music. Yes, that Herbie Hancock, as if there was more than one. While people know him as an icon in the world of jazz, he released Rocket in the 80s, and it was made with the electronic synthesizers and drum machines used in a lot of music of the time. The scratching itself was done by DJ Grand Mixer DXT. Another essential track for scratching is Run DMC's 1984 track Jam Master Jay, with the DJ's namesake in the title itself. This was another track where his skills were front and center. As DJing continued to grow more and more, different DJs were finding more and more ways to make new sounds come from their turntables. Naming these sounds was easier said than done sometimes, and other times, the name just came naturally. For the Transformer scratch, you can probably guess where the name came from, but if you need help, Cash Money and DJ Jazzy Jeff can let you know.
Who invented the Transformer scratch? One of the things that I'll tell you, Philly invented the Transformer scratch. That's the best way to tell you, because the first person I heard do anything like that was Spin Bad.
Transforming. Started off like that. Right?
Spin Bad did something like that. Then I took it home and was like, all right, he just did it. Now I'm going to put some rhythm to it. Cash put different rhythm to it.
Right? And I took it from him.
Baby DST out there was the one in my mom's basement saying, that sound like a Transformer. All of a sudden, the guy that I had rapping started saying, check out Jazzy Jeff do the Transformer scratch. So it wasn't just me. It wasn't just Cash. It wasn't just Spin Bad. It was like my mom used to always say, ain't nobody invent nothing. It's just redone. So somebody did it. I took a piece, he took a piece, and it was crafted. But it was like, and I won't even go as far as to say that Philly did it, because at the same time we were doing it down here, somebody could have did it in New York. I know when I did it in the seminar, everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. What the fuck is he doing? What's that? You know, because it was different.
We've only talked about a few terms in the world of scratching and turntableism, but other ones like the baby scratch, tear scratch, chirp scratch, and many more all involve specific movements with the direction of the record, finger placement, direction, and of course, the use or non-use of the crossfader. Solidifying the sound in the 90s. Artists like DJ Premier of the duo Gangstar with Guru, rest in peace, had scratching all over their production, and in most cases were seen doing it in the music videos for the songs too, like the one for their timeless classic 1994's Mass Appeal. Sometimes scratching could be used for the clean or radio versions of songs. This technique helped keep the flow of the song going and fit right in stylistically. Take a listen from just moments later in the track.
Be like one-time wonders, couldn't say a fly rhyme if there was one right under their noses. I hate those poses, but I'm so real to them it's scary. I be like fascinating when I be updating, cutting off white kids, pulling their trump cards. I thump hard and make them say that I'm God. Be pretending they're hardcore, never know the meaning of. But I get props like
DJ Shadow's 1996 debut album, Introducing, is a classic. Those who like instrumental hip-hop are familiar with this legendary album, which holds the Guinness record for being the first album completely made from samples. The fact he made the album using only an Akai MPC, a turntable and a tape recorder, is a testament to the time period, but mainly his skill as a DJ and producer. While they're scratching across the whole album, a lot of it is fittingly in the intro titled Best Foot Forward, as DJ Shadow uses multiple vocal samples to introduce himself to the listeners.
Bob Wood, National Program Director of the Chum Group, worked with us in producing
the 2000s and beyond. The Love Hexology by Nujabes and Shing 02 is an excellent example of a story told across 6 songs. In recent years, many people have discovered and credited Nujabes as the father of lo-fi hip-hop, but long-time listeners have a strong emotional and sentimental connection to his music and see him as an artist far beyond that title. Anyway, Nujabes' music was hip-hop to its very core, and each one of these songs has scratching throughout them. The songs were compiled into one project and released in 2015 after being released separately from 2001 to 2013.
Relax. Here we go. Part 2. Check me out. Once again, now where do I start? Dear love, I'm struck with the prologue to find you here every morning I wake.
Joey Badass still keeps the 90s alive through his production choices these days. But during his formative years, the influences were even stronger. His 2015 debut album, Before the Money, had several songs produced by Static Selector, who is known for keeping the hip-hop sound alive through his beats, which typically feature scratching. On this track called OCB, Static gets a shout out from Joey in the track's opening moments during the scratching.
Me concerns me.
break it down.
We break it down like Joey Bag, he break it down like my fly, he break it down like my Static, break it down like yeah. One, two, right, all right. First thing first is I've been.
The innovation continues. Throughout the 90s, guitarist Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine often used creative techniques to emulate the sounds of scratching with his guitar. With the band known for blending rap and rock throughout their discography, it makes sense for them to be creative with the sounds of the instrumentation.
Tom, of course, is famous for making a guitar sound like anything but a guitar, which is amazing. So we would love to actually see how you do some of the stuff. And first of all, let's talk about some scratching noises, like on Bulls on Parade. A lot of people think that they're samples, and I should mention on the back of both your records, it says all sounds on this record are made by vocals, bass, drum, or guitar. There are no samples. So why don't you sort of give us a demo?
Sure. Well, the guitar has two pickups, right? The volume for one of them is turned to 0, so you don't hear anything. The volume on the other one's turned to 10, so it's very loud. So when you switch between the two, it acts as a kill switch. So if you add like a little sort of white noise to that and rub your fingers along the strings, you get a little...
It's a guitar. That sounds very like DJ influence. Obviously, you weren't just influenced by guitarists, but DJs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that in the last 10 years or so, like the most interesting music rhythmically and dynamically has been from disc jockeys and programmers and things like that. And so trying to emulate those sounds and textures on the guitar is much more interesting to me than just sort of playing, you know, two-hand tapping guitar solos, which I love in the 80s.
That's innovative.
Gospel duo Mary Mary, who burst onto the scene with their blend of gospel, hip-hop, and soul, had scratching in their 2010 single, Walking. Nerd, known for blending rap, rock, and multiple other genres, had scratching in one of their biggest hits, Everybody Knows, from their 2008 album, Seeing Sounds. Jerome Hill, who comes from the techno music world, incorporated scratching into his music too. Scratching continues to expand. Guitar Hero took gaming to a different level when it introduced guitar controllers. Rock Band followed suit, offering other instruments as controllers for rhythm game mechanics with songs people knew and loved. But in 2009, a new concept emerged: a turntable controller.
Hi, my name is... What? My name is... Who? My name is... It's named Sadie.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the eighth wonder of the world. H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy,
Hi.
to the Izzo.
What?
The Izzy, H to the
Sadie.
H to the
Sadie.
That's the anthem. Get your hands up.
Jay-Z versus Eminem. One of 93 original mashups. DJ Hero. Rated T for teen.
DJ Hero was a game where players could get the experience of being a DJ, which meant they could scratch, just like real DJs. While still a game and only one disc on the turntable, there are obvious modifications. But at the core, scratching was essential to playing. And with that being said, it was quite prominent in the mixes in the game.
Do you like violence? Yeah! Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Yeah! Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Yeah! Hi, kids. Do you like violence? Wanna see me stick 9-inch nails to each one of my eyelids? Wanna copy me?
Yeah.
Wanna copy me?
Yeah.
Wanna copy me?
Yeah.
Wanna copy me? I smoke a fat pound, then fall on my faster than a fat sat down too fast. Sadie, wait a minute, that's my girl. Sadie, wait a minute, that's my girl. Sadie, wait a minute, that's my girl, dawg. I don't give a f. God sent me to piss the world off.
And the party continued in 2010 with DJ Hero 2.
And that's just how we do it.
Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West. Welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West. Welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West. A state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. A state that's untouchable like that's untouchable like that's untouchable like Elliot. Sunshine State where the bomb M's hit beat. Stick where you never find a dance floor empty. Never find a dance floor empty.
Scratching has grown far beyond its niche origins in the 1970s. There are DJ battles all over the world, instructional videos for various skill levels all over YouTube, and songs from genres of all kinds with scratching. Your local rap or hip-hop radio stations likely have a regular weekly or daily segment with a DJ mixing live, and best believe the mix has scratching. The sound of scratching is something music fans know when they hear it, but a different group knows the true history behind it. We could make multiple videos about this subject and all the ends of music it has touched and influenced, but we hope you enjoyed what we put together. We would appreciate it if you could show us some love by smashing the like button, share this with some friends, and, of course, drop us a comment and let us know how we're doing. Make sure to check out these other videos popping up and subscribe if you're new, because we're uploading all the time. Thanks for chilling with us today. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.